Last Sunday, we saw the mighty Max Verstappen fall to McLaren's Lando Norris. Whether or not the win was deserved has been widely talked about since then, but what many have been overlooking is the incident between the Dutchman and his teammate. Did Sergio Perez sabotage Max Verstappen's race? Let's find out in today's video. During the Miami Grand Prix's opening lap, Sergio Perez nearly collided with Max Verstappen, leading to media criticism due to his challenging qualifying session. Verstappen started from pole position, while Perez began from fourth with the two Ferraris ahead of him. The Scuderia's commitment to mount a dual assault on his teammate, or perhaps Perez's own ambition to join Verstappen at the race's forefront, drove him to make a spirited yet overly eager start to the Grand Prix. Racing up to the back of his teammate's RB20, the Mexican driver overshot his braking point and Verstappen. Fortunately for Red Bull, the incident resulted in just a minor scratch on Verstappen's diffuser, which could have otherwise led to both cars retiring from the race. Former F1 driver Christian Albers attributed this incident to Perez's frustration over his performance gap to Verstappen in qualifying, as mentioned in the De Telegraph podcast. What disappointed me with Perez were a few things. Everyone was going crazy about him braking at the start. Of course, he could have taken Max out, and he could have taken the two Ferraris with him. He just messed up, but that's racing. You want to make as good a start as possible. Of course, he is already frustrated that Verstappen is at the front, and he starts fourth. So he thinks, I must and will find that connection with Max, otherwise I will lose him. So he's going to force it and brakes 40 or 50 metres too late. He's lucky he doesn't take Max or those two Ferraris with him. Perez's actions on lap 1 also caught the attention of other drivers, not just Verstappen. Carlos Sainz had a problem there and Lando Norris had a problem. That wasn't fair to Norris either, said Albers. He fell back because he had to avoid things. During the Grand Prix, which saw interruptions due to a safety car triggered by Kevin Magnussen's incident with Logan Sargent, Lando Norris benefited from a strategic pit stop that propelled him to first place ahead of Verstappen. When the race resumed with Verstappen in second place behind Norris, he attempted an attack into turn 1, but couldn't execute the pass. Norris quickly pulled away, securing a victory with a 7-second lead over Verstappen, who finished second, followed by Charles Leclerc in third place. Perez, restarting on medium Pirelli tyres like Lewis Hamilton, claimed fourth position, while the Mercedes driver ended up in sixth place. Albers went on, saying, after that safety car there were two men in the top 10 on mediums, Sergio Perez and Lewis Hamilton. I had high expectations for that. Those medium tyres were also much faster in the beginning, but then you could see that Perez could not keep up. Then he also had Hamilton behind him and couldn't get past it, but was able to stay in touch thanks to the DRS. You see Hamilton perform well, but you miss that with Perez. I think that's a shame. Plenty of issues going on at Red Bull, from the drivers to management, and everyone else sees that too. McLaren Racing CEO Zak Brown has emphasised his view that Adrian Newey's departure will set off a chain reaction at Red Bull, stating that more dominoes will fall as a result, citing people's desire to work for esteemed brands. Newey's final project for the Milton Keynes-based team will be the Red Bull RB17 hypercar, with his unexpected exit confirmed for after the first quarter of 2025, marking the end of his involvement with the Formula One team. Despite the team's efforts to downplay Newey's departure, the loss of a Formula One car designer with 25 titles under his belt, coupled with the possibility of him joining a competitor in the future, is a significant setback for Red Bull. McLaren's Zak Brown suspects that more departures may follow this trend at Red Bull. He mentioned this perspective when speaking to Sky F1. I think there are a lot of issues going on there. I think the least of the issues is probably on track, right? I mean, Max Verstappen is unbelievable. It's an unbelievable team. But I think with what's happened at the start of the year and the constant noise, and now Adrian Newey is leaving, I think there's going to be more dominoes to fall. A lot of these sports teams are all about culture, and I think they've got some issues to work through that can cause some lingering challenges for them. I think we're starting to see that now. I think when you have someone like Adrian Newey leave, not only do you miss his pen, so to speak, on the design of the car, people want to work for brands they're proud of and bosses they want to work alongside. And Adrian Newey, so I think with everything that's going on there, and Adrian Newey leaving, I think for sure that there will be people inside there going, is it time for me to move on? If Red Bull personnel are entertaining such thoughts, then McLaren has indeed positioned itself as one of the most enticing destinations in the paddock. Lando Norris's recent victory at the Miami Grand Prix, marking his first F1 race win, further solidifies McLaren's appeal as an exciting and competitive team. Brown said that McLaren has demonstrated that Red Bull is beatable, setting their sights on securing additional victories before the end of the F1 2024 season. When asked about McLaren's prospects for fighting for more wins this year, Brown responded saying, "Yeah, I don't see why we can't be fighting for wins. It's not going to be easy. Red Bull, I think, still has the pace. This one race and we were really dialed in. But the last few races, we've been quicker than Ferrari, so we're close. We're in the game. I think it shows they're beatable and we intend to beat them and anyone else for that matter, hopefully, a couple more times this year. I see no reason why not." Moving from Williams to McLaren and now to Red Bull, teams might publicly claim that Adrian Newey's departure poses no problem, but according to Christian Danner, the reality is quite different. Although Christian Horner has minimised the impact of Newey's exit, emphasising the strength of the remaining technical department, Helmut Marko views it as a huge loss for Red Bull. Former F1 driver Danner echoes the sentiments of Austrian Helmut Marko. Danner has gone so far as to predict that this marks the beginning of the end for the double world champions, as he shared with Avt Motorsport magazine. "This is the beginning of the end of Red Bull Racing's dominance. I'm not saying they will crash, but the dominance is over with the departure of Adrian Newey. In every team Adrian worked for, when he left, they always said, 'No problem. He is still the man with the overview and the man who has the matter under control.' Despite Red Bull's recent dominance with 3 consecutive Drivers' Championship titles and 2 consecutive Constructors' titles, including a 1-2 finish in the 2023 Drivers' Standings, the impact of Adrian Newey's departure is a subject of debate. Williams enjoyed significant success with Newey-designed cars, winning 59 Grand Prix races during his tenure, but their victories have decreased since. Similarly, McLaren experienced initial success after Newey's departure in 2006, but has struggled to win races consistently in the last decade, with just 2 victories. Danner is sceptical of Christian Horner's assertions that Red Bull's personnel, having learned from Newey, are capable of winning titles independently. "If it were that easy, all the Adrian Newey students who would have built a winning car," said Danner. "This is a far more serious departure than anyone would like to admit. Whenever things didn't go well at Red Bull, what happened? Adrian had to come to the track. The loss of Adrian Newey could be felt as soon as next race." Former F1 team owner Giancarlo Minardi suggests that Mercedes might initiate their comeback at the upcoming race in Imola, disregarding Ferrari and McLaren's potential challenge against Red Bull. Mercedes has struggled this season, failing to secure a podium finish and currently sitting in 4th place in the Constructors' Championship. But with big upgrades, such as a new floor introduced in Miami, Minardi believes Mercedes has the potential to improve their performance and change their luck at Imola. "The highly awaited team in Imola is certainly Mercedes," he told his website. "From what we hear, their championship should start right from the Enzo and Dino Ferrari circuit." With a 6th place, despite a car that was not at the highest level in Miami, they showed that they did not win 7 world championships by chance and could make others pay a high price. So, in your opinion, did Sergio Perez deliberately ruin Max Verstappen's Miami race? Tell us in the comment section down below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching!